you say, say? Guys, what is up? This is DJ NVision, and today we're back with another gig log and another one in the same sort of style as last week's because of the overwhelmingly positive feedback I got and a ton of you guys wanting to know more about the club world and thinking that the content was great. The other thing is I feel like it benefited myself more than you guys even, because that night I actually did play at Beer Garden, and having me go back and hyper analyze and hyper critique my set really made some improvements that you're going to see in this video. And again, I really appreciate your guys' feedback. I'm the one who wants to put my stuff out there so I can get ripped apart from you guys, and I'm always sharing mixes, sharing videos from my gigs with other DJs in my circle so I can get feedback, whether it's positive or negative, because any feedback is good feedback because it will help you grow in the future. So you're going to see I did take different approaches and I tried some different things out in this video, which I will go into talking as well. So without further ado, we're back at Beer Garden again, which is the college bar that you've seen me play at numerous times on this channel. This is a Saturday night, Saturday the 22nd of February, and as always, it's a packed night, and you're going to see it got packed a little earlier than normal, which is actually very good. When it came to opening the night, I started out with That Boy Is Mine by Ariana Grande. So as you see, I kind of am sort of building in, and unlike a room that would be completely empty, I'm not playing stuff that is totally dead energy. I'm playing some of the older pop and hip hop stuff that rang in the clubs a few years ago. Like, for instance, ZZ is something I would not play during peak time anymore necessarily. Same thing with Ransom and Leave 'Em Alone. Just stuff to sort of build the vibe while people are finding their way to the bar and grabbing drinks. Then what I do is I want to try to not stay in the hip-hop bag. I want to try to move over to the pop bag a little bit to test the water. So what I do is I use Work by Rihanna, which is kind of like a track that crosses over between, I'd say, pop and hip-hop. And then I'm going to move into Blank Space by Taylor Swift.
Give it to me, I'm worth it. Baby, I'm worth it. Show me what you got now. Come and make it worth my while. Give it to me, I'm worth it. Baby, I'm worth it. What's the name? What's the name?
time's now about 10:30. I have kind of been testing the waters with both hip hop and pop. As you saw, what I did was I used a very interesting technique where I slam mixed from Blank Space, but I used a trap remix that had a build up to where I slammed over to Worth It by Fifth Harmony. Then I went to What's My Name by Rihanna, followed by Strip by Chris Brown, which I have not played in a long time, and then moved over to Riding Solo, My House, and Beat It. And I'm using a lot of epic intros to sort of give songs a little bit more flavor early on in the night. One thing you're noticing though, even though the lights are still on, unlike last week, I'm actually not on the mic. This brings me to one of the biggest revelations I had watching back my set, listening to my set, and just sort of seeing the room. As far as mic work goes, even early on, you really don't want to be on the mic that much. And what I actually did, and this was something that Chris gave me some advice about, was no mic before 11. And you're going to notice when 11 falls is when they're going to turn the lights off. Because this really sort of allows you to separate your set. So this is sort of pre-opening. So before I'm even into people sort of getting on the floor, getting a little bit drunk. Then you're going to notice in a little bit, I'm going to move towards true opener. And then I'm going to move towards headliner. And by varying the amount of mic work, progressively getting stronger later on. And then once you get to like midnight, 12:30-ish, going all at it with the headliner level mic work, you're really able to separate the sets and sort of build up the energy and build up the vibe without just sounding predictable that you're just going to be on the mic. Something to notice, I am definitely quick mixing. I'm definitely mixing fast. But when you quick mix, you always want to play known iconic parts of the song. So like when I played Problem, what I did was I played the first verse and then skipped to Iggy Azalea's rap. That's what I've been doing a lot on my Patreon, is making cut down edits. So I'm not using cue points, not doing this necessarily on the fly. It just makes mixing and flowing a lot faster for me. It's not cheating. It's just cutting your songs down.
This is how we do it. Make your way to that bar. Let's grab a drink. Get comfortable, baby. Let's go.
So the time is now 11. As you can see, they turned the lights off, and I'm on the mic now. Basically, what I did was I held off, again, as I said, and I feel like I was able to make a lot more of an impact when I waited until the room was sort of shifting towards party vibes. Also, I know you guys are going to critique me. Early on, I'm using samples a lot more. I'm using the horn, the glass break, and like the truck horn a lot more. And I don't know if that's just me instinctively trying to fill dead space where I'm not on the mic. I feel like it's a toxic DJ habit. Something that I'm even trying to break, and I know multiple other DJs, including Chris the Resident, love their sound effects. I'm from New York. This is just kind of how we are up here, where we just use a lot of sound effects, samples. It's just how it is, just kind of like the mic work. It's very regional.
Come here, rude boy, boy, can you get it up? Come here, rude boy, boy, you should pick it up. Take it, yeah, come here, rude boy, boy, can you get it up?
Now she want a photo, already know. You only live once, that's a model, nigga, YOLO, and we got it every day, every day, every day. Kiss her other tongue.
Let's say skeet, skeet, skeet.
Water gun,
Say, oh my God, Becky, look at her.
but talk dirty to me. Talk dirty to me. I wasn't born last night. I know these hoes ain't right.
So another question I got a lot between Facebook and the comment section of my last video was people just sort of wondering, like, opening set, how really to structure it. Biggest thing with opening is you don't want to burn the headliner, especially if you're playing with another, or you don't want to burn yourself. Also, if you're playing with a headliner, you want to play with the thought that you're playing the entire night. Because what's going to happen if the headliner doesn't show up? You pigeonholed yourself into a bad space where you burnt all these great records and you're not going to know what to do. Biggest piece of advice is think about some of the sort of B-sides, some of the less known songs from each artist. For instance, Justin Bieber, obviously you're going to play Baby, Somebody to Love, Eeny Meeny, Beauty and a Beat, and that kind of stuff. So not necessarily play his top 5 tracks, but find some other good vibey songs, such as Boyfriend, Sorry, Where Are You Now, stuff like that people might have even forgotten about. Also for like Rihanna, you're not going to play Where Have You Been, We Found Love, Only Girl. Early on, you're going to want to play more on the like Rude Boy, Umbrella, kind of slower 80 to 90 BPM stuff. However, you're going to notice I do tend to edge the crowd a little bit. Give them a little taste of headliner, especially when I'm playing the full night, by maybe around 11:30 to 12, sort of skimming the surface of the bigger tracks like Only Girl.
I believe that worry about me and who I fire. I get what I desire. In this very moment, I'm king. In this very moment, I slay.
If you're partying with your best friend, if you're partying with your day one, I need to see those hands up. 1, 2, say 1, 2, 3.
Got my best friend. She a real bad bitch. Got her own money. She don't need no nigga on it.
Another thing you're going to notice is this night my mic work is much more intentional. I'm not just getting on the mic just to get on the mic and say stuff. I'm using it to elevate the crowd. Ways you can do that is just like I did in that last clip, where knowing this next song I was going to play is Best Friend by Saweetie. I got on the mic and sort of prompted the crowd saying, you know, if you're with your best friend, if you're with your day one, let me see those hands up, and then slam mixed over to Best Friend where it goes, that's my best friend. I feel like that really sets the vibe. Another thing you'll notice I do is like when I play Moment for Life, I do the first yes with them, and then I do the second one where it says, no, I am not lucky, I go on the mic, I'm blessed, and then cut the mic and make them do it. As you can see by me doing it first, they kind of know that, hey, maybe I should be going along with the words as well. Again, call and response and prompting are huge for mic work. You want to vary it so you're not just saying 1, 2, 3, jump, 1, 2, 3, let's go. You want to make it very situational, very intentional, and also not overuse it. That's what's going to help you elevate your club sets.
Yeah, I go on and on. Can't understand how it lasts so long. I must have this soup. Yeah, is it just me? Is this
this a little bit in the last video. Slam mixing is a lot more of a thing in New York and just like the Northeast in general. A lot of West Coast people are used to just 8-bar mixing. I do think that the slam mixing in some cases, like that previous clip where I slam mixed from Talkie Talkie to Turn Me On, really sounds better because it really catches people off guard, and especially if the intro part has a very iconic part to it. There are certain songs that you absolutely have to slam mix. For instance, like 1-2 Step by Sierra. Please, for the love of God, if you have any versions that don't have the ladies and gentlemen ooh-wee part in it, delete them off your library right this second. You can't just go right into the song. Like, there's just some songs where slamming gets you a better reaction, like Lean On, too. And Party Up, having that iconic intro just come out of absolutely nowhere. Because when the crowd isn't anticipating the next song, but they can't really tell.
You got me going crazy, you turn me on, turn me on. Let me show you, put your arms around me. You got me going crazy. Turn me on, turn me on. From the moment you was dancing on the body.
Then furthering on to some of the points I've been making, a good way to bridge an older track with a newer track in a venue like this is exactly what I did. For instance, in this case, if you have a older song that a newer song sampled to get to the newer song, and to sort of bridge it from more of a Latin dance hall kind of vibe back to hip hop and pop, what I did was, knowing that Questions by Chris Brown had the sample from Turn Me On, the Let Me Hold You part, what I did was I used the lyrics to cross it over, and then I actually restructured and ran it back to the beginning. And then again, quick mixing, you don't have to play the song in the exact order. You can start out later and then bring it back.
No fighting. Shakira, Shakira. Where my sexy ladies in the building tonight? She said I'm here in the DJ. If your girls in the DJ booth, just work on yourself, man. Get your sexy out. Get your sexy, get your sexy, get your sexy. How you doing, young lady? Girl, I can't notice but to notice you, noticing me. That's what I'm talking about, early start, baby.
Why don't you stay? Can you blow my mind? Make me wanna move your body,
The sun goes down, the stars come out. I know that who can have a good time tonight? Let me see what's hands up. Now you leave us, will never be the same. Say I'm glad you came. I'm glad you came. I'm glad you came. Now don't go talking that.
And now you're definitely really seeing me edge the crowd a little bit. Since it's 11:30 and I'm moving more towards my headlining set, which I'm going to start at 12. And as you see, the room is getting very, 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 very packed. And I'm using songs that people probably forgot about. Like, again, Kesha, you're probably definitely going to play TikTok, Die Young, even like Timber, just stuff like that, you know, people hear more often. But Blah Blah Blah, Cannibal, Come On, even, those are songs that people probably forgot about, And you're going to get a good reaction because people haven't heard them and they're not expecting it. In fact, I forgot about Blah 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 too, and it's actually a banger. Additionally, one thing that's very important with quick mixing is you don't cut off iconic parts like the bridges. Like, a lot of people who quick mix Crazy in Love skimp on that bridge, which I think is very iconic. And same thing with Your Love Is My Drug, you definitely want that bridge. So if you cut out the part in the middle that people not necessarily vibing to and go right to the bridge, it really can help make your set sound more dynamic and lively.
Hold on. What you say? I know ya.
Don't make a sound. 2 a.m. low, gotta keep it down. Don't wait a while for a second now. I can know my innocence.
Get the fuck up. We're going to hide. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's
Time is now 11:45, and you're going to see I'm dipping my toes into some of the EDM just to see how it would work. Body is a good one because a lot of people know it. One that I haven't played in any of my gig logs yet is Let's Go, which is it's a TikTok trending song, the 9 p.m. on a fucking Friday. And you see I kind of slammed it in where it goes to the get the fuck up, and it got a reaction as you heard.
City Hall Club was looking at. Hey ladies, drop it down. Just wanna see you touch the ground. Don't be shy, girl, open.
What in a what's like? Ask me what's like.
What's that?
I heard from a friend of a friend that that dick was a can't stand it.
Hold up.
It ain't nothing to cut that bitch off. Cut that bitch off. Oh! Cut it, cut it, cut it, cut it, cut it.
Say your price is way too high, you need to.
Your price is way too high, you need to cut it. Yeah, I got them all on me. Go, 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 go. Let's go. Back in the minute, she like I spent long. Yeah, just out there.
So it's now 11:51, and I'm rapidly approaching my headliner set. And this is something that I talked about in the last video too, is sometimes earlier on in the night using older TikTok songs to get a reaction will work wonders. Like last week I showed how Bundles 2 worked. This week I did a very iconic TikTok dance from 2020, which I played a lot at Sky Zone back when that was a residency for me. Viewers will know that one. Lottery by K-Camp, you know, the renegade dance from TikTok. And what I actually did there was I quick mixed it and used a wordplay where I went with the Go Go Let's Go into Suge by DaBaby, which is hilarious. I don't know how I came up with that one. That's kind of funny.
Good, play if you want, let's do it. I'm a young CEO, sure, yeah. I know
many people here right now that I didn't know last year. Who the fuck are y'all? I swear it feels like the last few nights we
Clap for a nigga with his slapping ass. Blow a stack for your niggas with your trapping ass. Coming up, coming down, 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 down.
okay, she headed to the dance floor and she
Just put it down on me, put it down on me. It's a game. On me, put it down on me. Don't blow it up a mile, show me how it's gonna be.
Oh my God. What's up? And what I do? Again, going back on the last few tracks I played, I'm doing a lot of word plays and creative transitions to make my set sound more dynamic, not just doing 8-bar extended mixes, not just slamming, not just dropping stuff on the one, but also, again, incorporating word plays in there. And this is something I actually thought up on the fly. Again, I try to do as much as possible live, so my creative mind starts thinking. Realized that the coming up, coming down, I can loop the down and go into down on me. You could probably go a lot of ways with this, like to Down by Jay Sean, stuff like that. Another thing, like tip-wise, is to use the sync button as a friend, not an enemy, because the sync button will allow you to actually lock your two pitch sliders together and be able to transition up that 10% difference between those two songs. And then after that, going into flex ooh into ooh was another very easy wordplay to do. Followed that up with Can't Tell Me Nothing by Kanye, which that's another one where you have to drop it on the one where it's wait till I get my money. And I mix that one very fast where I have the crowd do the wordplay. Where I go, and what I do, and then I cut the volume where they go act more stupid. And then I slam mixed in Good Life by Kanye West, but I used the epic kind of like music video intro of it. And as far as to where I'm getting a lot of these stuff, I'm on a bunch of different DJ pools and a bunch of different Patreons as well. Favorite Patreons are Snacks and Even Steve. Favorite record pools for these have been Club Killers has put out some amazing stuff recently, as well as DMS for some of the more house leaning remixes. Heavy Hits also has some good editors as well. So in the process of editing this, I could not cut this down to anything less than literally an hour. So hate to do it to you, but to be continued. However, the full thing is up on Patreon if you guys want to see. So next week, tune in for Headliner. Yeah! What you say, say?